What's an American problem you're too European to understand? Registering to vote. As a Canadian, you're automatically enrolled when you turn 18 and get a notice where your polling station will be for every election. Also, having to go to a single polling station. In Australia I can go to any polling station in my electorate and many outside it as well, and it doesn't make a difference. You have $4.50 in your pocket. The fancy drink is advertised at $3.99. Do you have enough money to buy it? Dunno. I live in the USA and this is the worst. Here is one I can't understand. Strong violence on TV. No one bats an eye. Nipple slip. Everybody loses their minds. People not using all of their annual leave. Backquote vacation days. And you have so few. I get 9 weeks and I still feel deprived. Australian here. The TV ads for prescription medication always gets me. Like really specific medication too. Not just a new over-the-counter painkiller. I think it's good to research medication if you have a condition, to be informed about your options. But it's so bizarre to see ads for it in between Property Brothers episodes and ads for Taco Bell. Expensive required textbooks that you have to buy to take a university class. That's not the worst part. There's classes where you have to pay for an online website, only open for the semester, just to do your homework online. Usually starts at $90. Had to pay $160 to do homework for my chemistry class this semester. Try $480 for an online geology class. $200 of that was for rocks. Why tipping is considered part of someone's paycheck. American here. When I was studying in the UK I had to send some financial documents back to the US. The only way these documents were considered valid was if the original was mailed in, or if I faxed a copy. When I asked the printing office if they could fax it for me, they looked at me like I was an alien and said the school hadn't owned a fax machines for like a decade. Then they asked me if I still use a VCR. Americans still use fax machines, especially for health stuff. Just had to fax a claim this morning. Ask your doctor about this drug ads. Honestly, that one is batshit crazy for us Americans too. Especially when they get to the side effects and it's basically summarized as lol you might die. Or that there are so many side effects you might as well not bother. Or you need other drugs for those side effects. Privatized prison system edit. I want to clarify that I'm an American. Former military member, army infantry, did some time in Germany and got knowledge on how their system works. It feels like the United States creates laws out of thin air, so you can continuously break a law and have a constant chance of seeing a jail cell for the slightest thing every day. When you add in police aggression into the mix you pretty much flip a coin whenever you get pulled over, depending on how good the cop is. Honest police will give respect and in return receive and have cooperation. Police on power trips, well we all have seen some form of how bad that can go. Being from New Orleans, Louisiana, which houses the most inmates in the Union, you feel not only a constant threat to protect yourself from criminals, but also from the law. With lawmen not in check it almost feels like they want you to end up in jail for a broken tail light. New Orleans prisons are no fucking joke. It's a real problem everywhere from big city to small town USA and I believe is fueled by a privatized prison system. I got a kick out if reading these comments. I'm American, but by the end I was reading them to figure out where I want to move to. Why people censor swears that are totally obvious. Also how many shows don't bleep out the full word. Like a lot of time you'll hear F*** K or SH*T and it's not hard to figure out what they're actually saying. Either censor the whole thing or don't censor at all. Lobbying. I never understand how every politician on both sides gets away with legalized bribery and everyone just accepts it. I understand the need for specialist interest groups to promote their ideas, but to be allowed to visibly finance a politician and rate their friendliness to your cause with no repercussions is insane to me. It's bribery no matter how you dress it up. I mean, in Europe we just do it more discreetly. I'm an American, but I have a friend who is Italian from Italy. She doesn't understand how sweet everything is, including pasta sauce and bread. And she doesn't understand our obsession with bragging about our heritage. She says if you are born in American, you are American. Not Greek/Italian/German on your mom's side. Dutch/English/Scottish on your dad's side. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect so many responses. Some of you are feeling a little salty with the implication that you shouldn't feel proud of your heritage. First of all, this was not my thought. I was repeating something that was said to me by a friend in a response to a question posed by Opus. It doesn't necessarily reflect my opinions. Second of all, I specified Italian from Italy vs an Italian American, so you could understand that she is an immigrant, first generation Italian. She came here when she was 28 years old and still considers herself to be Italian. Third of all, she was referring, I believe, to people whose relative came from other country way before they were born, and they've never been to country, don't speak the language, don't have any culture from that country, and so it goes. I'm American. This girl I went to high school with was so obsessed with her Italian heritage that it was all she ever talked about. Supposedly her great-great-great-grandparents moved to New York from Italy, and as soon as she found that out she went apeshit with the Italian identity. I mean, every other sentence was, I'm Italian so or I like this because I'm Italian. Like, give it a rest already. You were born in Southern California. I've never understood the tipping culture in the US. As an Aussie, tipping just isn't really a thing, except like paying $10 for a drink that costs $9.20 and telling the bartender to keep the change. And that's basically it. While watching Chelsea vs Manchester United yesterday on NBCSN, during halftime there was a good recipe commercial where the guy is asking a woman if she would like to fill her prescription. He pulled up the phone and showed her that the same pill can cost from $10 to $90 depending on the area, and that good recipe can help her fill the prescription with the cheapest prices. Now someone please explain to me how in the ever-loving fuck is it possible for a drug to cost 10x more depending on your location? Don't they have constant prices like in the rest of the civilized world? Edit. The answers to my inquiry are even more fucked up. What the fuck, America? You're getting robbed in broad daylight. No. Prescription costs depend on what your insurance considers a fair price for it, how much they are willing to cover of that cost, only after you've met your deductible, how many doses they think you actually need, and therefore the pharmacy must oblige when filling it, and likely your home state. I cannot recount how many instances I've heard of families going bankrupt because their child is insulin dependent and they simply cannot afford it, and their house at the same time. It's fucked up. I don't know if this is considered a problem for Americans, but it sure as hell was a problem/inconvenience for me while I was there. Unreasonably high water level in the toilets, like, holy shit, my balls were almost touching the water. Fuck that. How much do I tip? 10%? 15%? Do I tip everywhere? Why isn't the tax included? Why does the tip vary? Why are the waiters so underpaid? Edit. Also, why do you have to do your tax bill? You could literally go to prison, but it's like a guessing game from what I heard. How your credit score system works. I will never understand why using a debit card, so only spending money you actually have, doesn't have a positive effect on your CS, but paying your credit card every month has. Oh man. Just wait until you hear that canceling a credit card or paying off a student loan can actually decrease your credit. Caring about other people's food. As a Pole, I don't care how do you like your peerage, busy, card tax, bigus, etc. But damn me, if I ask in the US for a well done steak, or if I order a Hawaiian pizza, we are a feisty country and just want something to argue about. Also, it's potentially our puritanical roots that have told us that we need to be highly concerned about what our fellow man is up to and to do something about it if we don't approve. The amount of homeless people and the amount of homeless mental patients. I'm too European to understand how swearing and curse words are such a big deal in movies and songs, but violence and guns are taken with a grain of salt. Edit. Thanks a bunch for my first Reddit medal and all the insightful comments. Asterisk, as an American I don't get it. As far as I'm concerned, little Jimmy on the mic has fucked my mom 5 times in the past 2 hours, but his mom won't let him listen to rap music. With no intent to be rude, but I can't understand how so many people eat themselves to the point of needing a mobility scooter or the point of being bedbound. I live in Sweden and I believe that the absolutely heaviest person I've ever seen in 30 years was about 400 pounds. How strongly Americans feel about the flag. I saw a photographer get torn to pieces online because someone was standing on the tiniest bit of the flag and people went fucking apeshit. In the UK most people probably couldn't spot if the Union flag was round the wrong way. Edit. Just in case you were wondering which way round the Union flag goes, in the half of the flag nearest the flagpole, the wider diagonal white stripe must be above the red diagonal stripe, as Scotland's St Andrew's Cross takes precedence over Ireland Street. Patrick's Cross. It is most improper to fly the flag upside down, but nothing people would lose their shit over. It'd just be some knobhead like me who'd point it out. Also thanks for the gold. 30 degrees Fahrenheit. -1°C. Asterisk -1.111111C. I never understood 4 things in us. Healthcare, or mostly hell don't care. Prices are written on goods without taxes. Toilets that looks like small lake. Shower that have only one knob to set intensity and temperature of water. Been watching Sons of Anarchy on Netflix, and it reminded me of something really odd about US telly. You can show people being brutally murdered, tortured, raped, overdose on drugs, hint at child sex abuse, and have a story arc start with a school shooting. Can't say fuck though. What's that about? Student debt. I pay €20/semester tuition in Austria. Wow. I'm in a community college, the cheap option, and I pay almost $2,000 a semester, plus a couple hundred in mandatory books and supplies. My undergrad was $60K a year. The idealization of politicians. They are public servants, similar to a courthouse clerk or a city hall coordinator. They are not rock stars. You don't need to scream their name, buy their merch, fully commit your life to them, and believe everything they say. Just treat them like public servants. Sure, they get power and position, but hold them accountable when they abuse it. Don't let corporations and politicians take over. The political system is created by the people, for the people. It just boggles the mind. That was r/AskReddit by the Reading Penguin. Like, subscribe and share with your friends for daily Reddit videos.